Hey everybody, Star 6 Wars 1 here, and welcome to the next video of Persona 3 vs 11 Eyes. This time, we are taking a look at the side characters. Not all of them, though. From the teachers, which I'll be leaving for the next subject, and will be technically the last versus subject of characters, and two more from Persona 3, and a few more from Persona 3 that I'll be talking about in another bonus video. Because Persona 3, by numbers alone, would have won easily, as its side casts are in at least a dozen, if not more. So by numbers wise, Persona 3 already has the lead once again. How about we just get into 11 Eyes to start off with? First up, we have Tadashi, the perverted character of the series, or as I like to call him, he's the Junpei character done not as good. Sadly, I don't think Tadashi is done very well. He has his badass moments in the visual novel from what I've heard. Unfortunately, in the anime, he and the next character we'll get into in a moment are the comic relief. Honestly, they bug me. I really wish I could say they didn't, but they do. They annoy me. And especially because I feel the comedy in 11 Eyes is very jarring towards the rest of the plot, and was admittedly one of the problems I had with the initial watching of it. And even now, I still consider the comedy quite jarring. So, Tadashi's my least favorite character in 11 Eyes. And I won't deny that. Next up, we have the other end of it, Kaori, the female of the comic relief. Now, I'll be honest, she's not a bad character either. I don't mind her. The problem with her is she's pretty much a tsundere. I don't know if this is a fact in the anime, but I actually know that in the visual novel, she is actually in love with Tadashi. And Tadashi is the pervert character who tries and talks and hits on every other woman but Kaori. Yeah, I'm not gonna question his logic basis because the guy's kind of a dummy anyways. Kaori is kind of the same problems as Tadashi, but I at least liked Kaori a little bit more. Unfortunately, though, she's not much better. Overall, these two make up the side characters of 11 Eyes that I can talk about, because I've only watched the anime and read the manga. And these two are the only ones in those. So, unfortunately, yeah, not painting a pleasant picture, 11 Eyes. And then so, with that, let's transition into Persona 3. Now, I'm only going to talk about 5 characters from 11 Eyes. I mean, Persona 3. Because, to be honest, if I talked about it anymore, I would be here a while. First up, we have Kenji Tomokichi. He is one of the first side characters you meet in Persona 3. He is, well, let's put it this way, into older women. And no, this is part of his own plot. Fun thing about the characters is side characters get their own variation of the plot. And this is extended to about half, if not more, of the side characters. So yeah, we have this guy who's into older women, is trying to date one of his teachers. I can already tell you that does not go well. Not gonna spoil much about that, but it does not go well. The guy's a pretty nice guy overall, though. I like him, despite his misgivings. Next up, we have Hitoshi Otaguri. He is one of the class president people. He's in student council, and he is a hard ass. The guy is really a hard ass, and to be very fair, he's the tough but fair character, and he will go to any lengths to uphold that. Honestly, Hidoshi does not seem like a great character you'll like by the end of it, but I will admit that I think he's actually a pretty good guy by the end of his social link. Next up, we have a French guy who I cannot pronounce his real name, but he goes by the name Bebe. Let me put it in this regard. Put some of the hilarious aspects and some bits of physical aspects of Tamaki, and you have Bebe. That's basically my example of him. Moving on. Next up, Yuko. She is one of the people in the sports teams in the thing. Sorry, I can't do it. You meet her, and she's also a potential love interest. Although she's not as big as most of the others. Personally, my opinions of her are rather mixed. She does have some good moments, but she also has her not so good moments. Next up, the last one I want to talk about, and my favorite of the side characters, Chihiro Fushimi. She is also in the student council, and she's a sophomore. And I will point it this way, if you thought Fuka was shy, you've seen nothing yet. Chihiro is almost pathologically afraid of male characters. So, this makes it very hard for her, but she quickly falls in love with the main character. And yes, it's another one she could potentially date. She's another love interest. However, and this is kind of the fun thing with Chihiro, you see her go from a shy person to much more outgoing. And you get to see that in Persona 4, making one of the only Persona 3 characters to return in the sequel. So yes, you get to see Chihiro in both Persona 3 and Persona 4. However, she has a very, very minor role in Persona 4. It's pretty much a cameo. Overall, the winner is pretty damn obvious, isn't it? I just was able to describe like half the things about some of these characters, but not others. And Tadashi and Kaori were pretty much the comic reliefs from where I saw them. And these Persona 3 characters were very well developed. So ultimately the win goes to Persona 3 once again. Anyways, that's all from me. This has been Star 6 Wars 1. And I will see you next time with the teachers. See you guys then.